Hi, Phil Aston here from nowspinning.co.uk, and on this video I'm going to be unboxing the Thin Lizzy Rock Legends box set. This came out just before Christmas in 2020, and this is one of these box sets where I thought, well, I'll wait and see if the price comes down at all, and in fact it sold out on the day of release. The pre-orders alone ensured that it was gone. I don't think I've seen a box set disappear so quickly, and I just thought this was one of these situations where I probably won't be able to get a copy. And just recently there's been a second run. I don't know whether the second run is as big as the first, but as soon as it appeared I snapped it up. I think I paid about £90 for it. It's hovering around 80 on eBay and Amazon. So if you are a Thin Lizzy fan, and I can highly recommend this, and I'm going to show you inside it in a few moments, but you need to act quick. And the other thing I want to point out is that the box itself is a lot bigger than I expected it to be. As you can see here in this photograph, if I put it next to some of the other recent box sets that have recently come out, the shape and size of, say, the rainbow one here is the way a lot of box sets. I think the Hooper one, the Who singles is that size, and then we've got the UFO one, etc. The Sweet one was a bit different, and the Sabbath one, etc. But this one, the Thin Lizzy one, you can see is substantially bigger. It's not as big as these album size box sets like Wishbone Ash or Nazareth, etc. But it is big and it's very heavy. So let's have a look inside and see what you get for your money. So here it is, and I thought I would actually open it up in front of you, taking the cellophane off this fantastic box. It's, as I said, it's a substantial box indeed, and it's got a lovely design, the proper, Thin Lizzy logo, and there's a black rose on the side, which is a nice touch as well. One of the first things you'll feel when you get this is actually the weight of it. It's a big, heavy box, and the main reason for that is because of the first thing that you see inside it, which is this absolutely fantastic book. This in itself, I think, could have been sold separately, and it's called Thin Lizzy on Tour. And as you open it up, let's just move that to one side, it is in fact every tour program that they did. I mean, there might be some that aren't included, I don't know, but this is fantastic. It starts from the fighting years. I don't know if there was one for nightlife, but as you can see here, they've replicated every page from the tour programs, and fighting is actually one of my favourite Thin Lizzy albums. In fact, if I had to say what my top three would be, they would be Johnny the Fox, and Fighting, and Renegade actually. But as you can see here, there's lots to read, lots of memorabilia, and the other thing that I like is they've not excluded any pages from the program. So you've got the adverts, for some, for old stereos, and the support bands. You've got City Boy, Clover, you've got Sounds, Baby Sham, Johnny the Fox. Then we move into Bad Reputation. Just move my Dalek out of the way. And I just think this is great. I think, as we look back on these albums that meant so much to us and these bands, I think having this kind of memorabilia is wonderful, to have it all in one place. And how many of us have got every Thin Lizzy program? I'm going through this quite quickly because it's a big book and I don't want the video to be too long, but I wanted you to be able to see every page so you've got a feel for it really. But you've got lots of articles here. The print is very good, so you can read it. Like sometimes the reproduction is a bit blurred, but it's very, very good on this. So I was very impressed. Just flicking through this without taking up too much time, but It really is good, and I love that section there. I'm just going past where it talks about their favourite things and what's their favourite car. This is like the Black Rose tour, and then none of them drove, which was probably quite common for a lot of rock bands because they were taken everywhere, but none of them drove. Then we've got a Japanese tour program, and then we're moving into Live and Dangerous. And of course, the Japanese tour programs were quite elaborate affairs, so that's all been replicated. I mean, they've got Midge when his little brief time with the band. And again, more adverts. And then we're into the Chinatown period. That's a great album as well, actually. And then we've got a section on Snowy White. Questions and answers, which is great. It's fascinating stuff. You might remember some of it from those of you who were there at the time, but absolutely brilliant. And then we're into Renegade, which I mentioned earlier is one of my favourite albums. I do think that's a highly underrated record. Some great tracks on it. Again, sections with interviews with the band, brilliant photographs. I've absolutely loved going through this. And there it is, Renegade itself. And then we're on to Thunder and Lightning, which is the core, more metallic side of the band as they started to move towards the end of their career. But again, absolutely fascinating stuff. And then we got Darren Wharton came in, and of course he wrote one of the best songs that Angel of Death. I love that song. And then you've got the you can send off for the tour programs, probably not anymore. But every aspect of the tour programs has been included. So that's, as you can see there, a very thick and heavy book on Thin Lizzy, featuring every tour program they did. And then you've got this section, which is another book, and this is basically in praise of the band. So this has got interviews with everybody who's been in the band, and what they felt about Phil Lynott and the band itself. You've got the producers, managers, every musician you can think of, no matter how long they're in for. And then you've got interviews with people like Ian Gillan, Eric Bloom, Glenn Hughes, Trevor Rabin. And then they basically trawled all the people around the world who were influenced by the band. And at the very back there, it goes into the bit of detail from where all the tracks on the CDs, which we're going to see in a moment, where they originate from and the years they were recorded. Another nice touch is this, which is one of Phil Lynott's books of lyrics. I think this is the second one, but I think this has got some of his best songs in there, and to see the words in isolation, you realise just what a storyteller and great poet he was. There's some great illustrations as well by Fitzpatrick here, and I think this is a really nice touch. It really is a lovely item to have to put in the box set, really. And then we've got some art cards. Again, you might think, well, some of these things aren't required if you're just thinking about the price of the box and did they do this. But I think it's part of the whole package. It's part of the whole mythology of Thin Lizzy, really. And this is a great poster there for Vagabonds of the Western World. A nice picture of Phil there. And then the last card is from the single The Rocker, which is a great track. I remember buying that on Decca Records. And then we go to the CDs. The only thing I'm going to say about these is they're all gatefolds, which is fab, but there is nothing in the middle. You would have thought they perhaps would have put some photographs to represent what each of them is. This first one is the greatest hits, and that features lots of edits and different mixes, and it's a fantastically sequenced CD. Then this one, the early years with Eric Bell. This has got two fantastic radio broadcasts. I'm sorry that's a little bit blurred from my camera there, but there's some wonderful broadcasts there. And this one, the Rarities one, this is from Nightlife and also Fighting. That's fantastic. Rarities 1 and 2 are my favourite CDs because it covers Jailbreak and Johnny the Fox. And these have been professionally recorded. They used to trial some of these tracks in their own multi-track studio where they rehearsed, and it sounds like you're actually in the room with them. These aren't demo tracks that you'll only listen to once and file away. This really is fantastic stuff. You've also got the Chinatown tour from 1980, and that's all good quality. Again, I don't know why they didn't put something in the gatefold sleeves, but that's a great live album, all unreleased. And then finally, you've got the DVD, which includes some live tracks and also the Bad Reputation documentary from the time as well. And on the back of the box, it shows you all the tracks on each disc. So that's Rock Legends by Thin Lizzy, an absolutely superb box set, and one that has exceeded my expectations. I think it's worth every penny, and if you're a fan, it certainly is. Usually, as I've said during the unboxing video, you see demo tracks and you think, oh, these are going to be things I play once. But this isn't like that. This is like having Thin Lizzy in the room with you, or you being in the room with Thin Lizzy. It really is a great box set. So thank you for watching, and special thanks to all my patrons, Jeff and Chris, and thank you so much for your support. Thank you for watching on YouTube, visiting the website and all the social channels. Your support means absolutely everything to me, and I'll see you in the next one.